Every morning, in the same corner of the house, the scene repeated itself. A small dog, curled up tight, head down, sleeping in that exact same position day after day, even though she was free, safe, and surrounded by people who loved her. Sounds strange, right? But that's exactly how life looked for over a year for a little dog named Pavlova. And the reason behind that scene is going to help you understand, in a really deep way, how the past can leave marks that time alone just can't erase. Pavlova's story starts in Cuenca, a city in Ecuador, where a local rescue team found this tiny dog with curly fur and the kind of sweet face that usually melts hearts the moment people see it online. Small, gentle, exactly the type of dog families dream about when they're looking to adopt. But Pavlova's real life had been nothing like that dream. According to the people who rescued her, she had spent half her life tied up, with no freedom to move, no real care, eating only when there happened to be scraps around, and constantly living in fear. It was the kind of existence where affection simply didn't exist, the sort of life no animal should ever have to go through. And here's the thing, when the rescue finally happened, back in July of 2024, Pavlova wasn't alone. She was pregnant. The volunteers who found her described that moment as someone arriving carrying more pain than strength. But, and this is where the story takes its first big turn, even exhausted, even living through the hardest moment of her life so far, Pavlova found the strength to keep going. Not long after, she safely gave birth to her puppies, showing a level of protective instinct that left everyone around her amazed. Before we keep going, and trust me, there's an even bigger twist coming up in this story. If you're enjoying real stories like this one about dogs, cats, and the causes that genuinely make a difference in animals' lives, now's a great time to hit that subscribe button. That way you won't miss the next chapters of this story, or others just like it, because what happens next is going to hit you even harder. Pavlova's puppies were born in September of 2024, and unlike their mom, who had always been small, they grew into medium-sized dogs. They were healthy, full of energy, and pretty quickly started getting visits from families interested in adopting. One by one, each puppy found a home. Houses with backyards, kids to play with, people ready to give those babies all the love they deserved. But while her puppies moved on to new lives, Pavlova stayed behind at the shelter, waiting. And that's exactly when the most heartbreaking moment of this whole story happened. More than a year after the rescue, in November of 2025, the shelter's volunteers caught something on camera that caught everyone's attention. Pavlova was sleeping, but not the way most dogs sleep, stretched out and relaxed. She was sitting up, curled into herself, head down, in a position that looked exactly like someone still being held back by a rope. Except there was no rope. Pavlova was free, safe, in a fully protected environment. And yet her body kept reacting as if that restriction was still there. This kind of behavior actually has an explanation, and it's worth understanding because it happens with a lot of animals who spend long periods of time tied up or confined. When a dog lives restrained for a long time, its body and mind adapt to that routine just to survive. Even after gaining freedom, certain behaviors keep showing up, almost like a kind of emotional, and even physical memory. It's as if, even without the rope, Pavlova's body still remembered it being there. This points to something really important. Physical freedom can come fast, but emotional healing for an animal that's been through hard times takes patience, routine, safety, and a whole lot of love, sometimes for months, sometimes for years. Despite all that fragility, the volunteers always described Pavlova as a dog made of pure love. All she needed was a chance, and while her puppies found families almost instantly, Pavlova somehow seemed invisible to anyone looking for a new companion. The caretakers even said that all the puppies already had wonderful families, but she was still waiting for someone to finally notice her. And then, after all that waiting, after everything she'd overcome, in late November of 2025, Pavlova was adopted. Finally, after a life marked by abandonment, fear, and a long road to healing, she got exactly what she'd always deserved: a real home, real care, and the chance to slowly learn that she's safe now, and that she can finally sleep peacefully, with no rope, real or remembered, anywhere near her. Stories like Pavlova's show how an animal's past can stick around even after rescue, and why patience from adopters makes all the difference in their recovery. So, have you ever adopted, or do you know, an animal that carried marks like this and needed time to finally feel safe? Let us know in the comments. Subscribe to the channel and keep following real news and stories.